Hey, I just wanted to do a really short message just to encourage everyone. I know this has been a really emotional week. I know that your families are completely shook. We are, our family and our household with this recent school shooting in Texas has just rocked us again. There's a lot of anger. There's been moments where my husband and I have just watched the news and held hands and wept. Um, Not a lot of sleeping, really a lot of questioning. And I just wanted to give you some thoughts about what is ours to do. It's overwhelming when we look at the scale of this problem, and it is ridiculous and absurd that this keeps happening. When there are solutions, when we can do something, there's so much frustration, and it's so legitimate. And I just wanted to encourage all of you to take that time to grieve, to cry, to weep, to ask questions, to allow yourself to be angry. Your anger is legitimate and it's righteous and it's good. And if we let our anger go to a deep place of bitterness, it can destroy us. If we use it as a set point where we can say, this is enough, like we cannot do this anymore, this is unacceptable. This is an attack and a violation of the most sacred thing that we have on this earth, which is our children. And our children deserve to be protected, to feel safe, to feel secure. It is ridiculous for us to put on children their own protection and teach them that they have to protect themselves with a chair against a weapon. It's not even possible. And so I know there's the big scale of laws that need to be changed, of petitions that need to be signed, rallies that need to take place. This is going to happen. We're going to keep fighting for that. I like to ask myself, though, in the moment of the pain, of the grief, of the anger, of the frustration, acknowledging the bigger picture of what my role is with my voting and my being aware and understanding who's representing my state, my county, and where I have power there to do something. But I also want to think, like, what can I actually do today that's tangible? And I know I've heard a lot of people say, I'm sick of your thoughts and prayers. And I think what people are saying is that's not enough. Like, we have to have action backed up. And I think that all of our thoughts and prayers are supposed to be backed up by action. Whatever we are praying for, whatever we are asking God questions about, whatever we are struggling in our humanity to understand a bigger picture of something that's so overwhelming, we have to ask, what is mine to do? And when our family first moved to Africa almost 15 years ago, and we were overwhelmed with sexual abuse of children, with domestic violence, with poverty, with starvation, there were the first couple weeks we just were shocked and didn't even know where to start. And there was so much work to do. There was so much legitimate need. We didn't know where to focus. And that's where we sat down as a family and we said, what is mine to do? And our overarching purpose for the entire family was the same. We were to bring life. We were to help people in need. We were concerned about widows and orphans. We were concerned about fatherlessness. But then out of the 8 of us, we all had individual callings in that time, in that space. And we all had to find that. We all had to ask the Lord personally, like, what is mine to do in this space? And it was different and it was the same. And I think we're in that same place right now where there are practical things that we can do. There are large things we can do. The practical things about donating and getting money to these families and helping these people, absolutely, because it will help them to get the proper therapy and to make changes. The large overarching long-term goals is that we make very serious changes in the way that we're doing everything in this country, and asking, what are we going to do to protect the most sacred commodity that we have, which is the next generation, which is the children, and they are so worth it. And then asking yourself, what can I do today? And I know I've talked to several mothers this week that just said, I just want to homeschool my kids. I can't take this. My kids can't take this. If that works for your family, that's great. But there are a lot of families that they're single parents, or they are serving overseas, or all the different things that really depend on public education for their children to be fed, and oftentimes for their kids to be educated, and as a form of daycare so that they can work. So it's not an answer for everyone. And we have to look at, what can I do as a mother, as a grandmother, as a wife, as a sister? What can I do in this situation? And what's happening right here in my neighborhood that I can affect change starting right now? And it might be as simple as my daughter-in-law went and bought gift certificates and wrote personal notes for all of her children's teachers. She was angry, she was upset, she was scared. Her kids were all of those things, but they didn't want to miss their last day of school and say goodbye to their friends. So they were driving up to their school, and they're having to face all of this anxiety and fear that is very, very real. And she just asked, like, what is mine to do? And she wanted to encourage the administration and the teachers that she had direct contact with and say, I see you, I love you, thank you so much for what you do every day. These little tangible things mean so much. Doesn't mean that we are just having thoughts and prayers and not putting any action to it. It means that we're asking, what am I doing? Big picture. Where do I need to educate myself? Where do I need to get involved? But also, what can I do right now today that will actually bring some life into a very dark place? So I just wanted to encourage you to have these conversations, but also that God is a God who grieves with us and for us. He is not absent from this. He has not left. He has not turned his back. He is present in all of this. When we sit there and we see these photos of these beautiful little babies, these little angels that deserve to be protected, he is the creator of all the sacred things, and these things matter to his heart as much and even more as they matter to yours. So go to him and ask him, what is yours to do? And then go do it. I love you guys. Have a great weekend.